everyone. Paul Morrow for opsdesk.org, guys. So, we hear a lot about border security and how if Donald Trump is elected, he's going to harden the border, hire more Border Patrol agents, maybe keep building the wall. But what you don't hear a lot about is how to interdict the foreign criminal gangsters, migrant criminal groups who are already here and already operating. And they're a lot more organized than you're hearing about. I have good sourcing in this area. What are you going to do? No need to reinvent the wheel. Here's what you do. Task force model. It worked for organized crime and it worked for terrorism. Here's how it works. You take the feds, you take the state and locals, you put them into task forces together at the local level. Right now there are over 100 joint terrorist task forces across the country. We need them for the migrant criminal groups. You put them together, you don't have the issue of sanctuary cities. Why? Because when you take the state and locals and you put them on a federal task force, they're federalized. They're essentially federal agents, which means they can talk to each other. You don't have this issue of not being able to talk to ICE, not being able to talk to the FBI or Homeland. In fact, even in New York City, the statute that designates New York City as a sanctuary city is a carve-out for the local cops to be able to talk to the feds. You use all the statutes that we've used in the past. You use the undercovers, you used informants, you flip people, you dump phones, you get up on wires, all the stuff that's worked traditionally. But if you set up task forces like we've had for organized crime and terrorism nationwide, and then at the same time, Donald Trump does all the stuff that he's talking about on the border in terms of remain in Mexico and hardening the border, it won't be long before we have the nation back under control, and a lot of this gangsterism, and it is, that you're seeing across the nation, including the killing of our young women. And that's right, women. Where are the feminist groups on that? Because that's who's being killed by these guys. But there's also the profit motive, so you need task forces. That's how it's got to be done. It'll work. I hope they're thinking along these lines. Check out the opsdesk.org podcast for more on that. We tease it out. Paul Morrow for the Ops Desk.